I want you to imagine yourself going to bed tonight, finishing all the work for today and then just going to bed to get some sleep. And then when you wake up tomorrow, you will realize that you're not in your bedroom, rather you're in a jungle. And then you start to think, wait a minute, I went to sleep in my room. How did I end up here? What is this? Where am I? What is this jungle? Am I dreaming? All sorts of questions are popping up in your mind. And then you think about like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I don't know what am I gonna do in this jungle. I need to find a way to go home as soon as possible. That's what pops up in everyone's mind, right? So you start walking. Because there's no trail nearby or you don't know which direction to go, you just walk. You walk, and then hours pass by. You realize that time is passing by. You realize it because you're getting tired. Okay? But still you walk. And then while walking, you realize that no matter how much you have walked, you have ended up in the same place again. That means the same place where you opened your eyes at, you have circled back to the same place again. And then you are shocked. You're like, what do you mean? I have been walking for hours. I don't know
how much time. My legs are paining. My body is paining. I haven't eaten anything. I don't know which direction to go. And then I
still ended up in the same place once again. You're furious. You're angry. You're shocked. And then you start thinking about, why am I ending up in the same place again? You start to walk again. And then you once again end up in the same place. This cycle continues for a while. And then you stop. You stop and think for a while, why am I circling back to this place again and again? And then all of a sudden, a treasure box appears in front of you. Yeah, all of a sudden, like there is no sign of any other thing. It's just a treasure box. What do you mean? And then you go in front of it and then you open it up. And as soon as you open it up, you see that there is a compass in it. And you're like, okay, so there's a compass. You start looking for more in it, like is
there water bottle, is there some food, is there some rock or anything, is there a map?
Nothing. It's just a compass. And that compass is pointing towards only one direction, the north. And now you're thinking, okay, so I guess this magical compass is trying to say to me to get out of the jungle following this direction. That's what clicks to you.
You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you.
What if I tell you that every single human being is living inside a jungle? Yeah, now don't call me crazy. The jungle's name is the Earth. Yeah, the Earth, the 3D realm, the physical reality, some call it the matrix, whatever you want to call it. It's just that we are living inside a jungle. Now, keep your mind open. This is what I want to say. We don't know what this jungle actually is. Some say that it is a sphere. Some say it is flat. Some say that aliens are controlling us. Some say that we are living inside a matrix. Some say that it's all our manifestations. It's all how we see the world. Some say that we are living inside a dome. So many interpretations are there about this jungle. Whatever you want to call it. We don't know how we ended up here. Okay? It's just that one day, when we open our eyes, we are in this jungle. And then, little by little, we are forgetting that we once closed our eyes in a bedroom. If you are watching this video right now, I'm pretty sure you are pretty interested in the mysteries of life. Okay? So, I'm pretty sure that you know about how a soul works, how human body works, everything. So, I know that you know that this is not our first birth. Okay? We have lived through countless births again and again, and in every birth we die to get reborn again. Now we are born, right? We are not dead. I'm not a spirit talking to you. This video is not watched by a ghost. We both are alive. But for us to be alive in this moment, that means our soul had to die in a past life. Okay? I want you to think of the bedroom as your past life death. And you waking up in the jungle as your current life. As you being awake in this present life. I hope that makes sense to you. Now I'm going to explain why I think like that. After some point in life, you will feel like you're circling back to the same place again and again. Like, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? What is the purpose of my birth? All sorts of things will pop into your mind if you are someone who is watching this video. I'm not saying that everyone gets all these sorts of questions in their mind. No, a very specific few amount of people are the ones who think about these mysteries of life. So what happens is we all circle back in the same place again and again for a while. And then when we realize that we are coming back to the same place again and again, that is the moment a treasure box appears in your life. And I want to say that treasure box is your birth chart. And the compass in it, I want to say that it is your north and the south node axis is your north node of your birth chart. And if you are watching this video right now, then you are someone who is very into astrology. So that means you have already found out about the treasure box of your life. And if you haven't, then I'm going to teach you. Oh, this video is your treasure box. We all died in a past birth, right? In that past birth, when at the moment we died, we didn't die out of happiness. We died out of a feeling of incompleteness, regret. We definitely couldn't finish all the tasks, and we definitely didn't die out of happiness, right? We died in a sudden moment, and tasks must have been incomplete. Tasks must have been left undone. That doesn't mean that our soul doesn't remember that. We remember that. Okay, we remember that. Oh my God, I left that incomplete. But our human body can't remember that. Our soul remembers it. So, if you're ever wondering like,
What did I do in my past life? Why have I come now? What's the purpose of my life?
then my friend, the only solution is you have to check your north node in the birth chart. That north node is like the compass of your life. Now we all are in a specific journey, right? We are in this jungle and we are trying to find our own home. So everyone's home is different. Home means the desire. Imagine a person die at the age of 25 due to a sudden heart attack. That person would feel like, I spent all of my life studying, getting a degree, going to college, like getting A's, getting the best results in every exam, and then suddenly I'm dead. I didn't enjoy my life. I didn't go on vacations. I didn't spend time with my friends. I didn't spend time with my family. All sorts of regrets will be there in that person's mind, right? Now imagine a person who is like at the age of like 90, dying in the hospital bed. That person will feel like, my God, I had so much time in my life, but I wasted it being at a corporate job. You know, imagine like being boxed to the same desk, same chair for the rest of your life, not doing anything, not taking that risk of starting your own business. That regret will be there in that person's mind. But what to do when your time comes? You have to leave as soon as possible. There won't be any returning back to the body. So even in this birth, you will die at some point, right? At some moment. You won't be coming back to this body again. But the goal should be to finish everything that you came. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to help you realize what you are here for. What is your purpose? Souls, we are in a continuous loop of birth, and then in each birth, as I said, we are born with a desire. So that desire doesn't come naturally, right? We aren't born with like, I want to eat ice cream. No. That desire comes out of what was incomplete in your past life. So imagine that person who died at the age of 25 due to a sudden heart attack would be born again in another life, and then naturally that person will feel like, I'm not going to study anymore, I'm going to enjoy my life. That will be the desire. The desire will be to enjoy the life. And then imagine the person of the 90-year-old who will be born again after that life. That person will naturally have the inclination towards, living a free bird life, not being boxed to the same desk or chair again. He or she will be someone like a risk taker. Like that, every one of us has a desire. That desire was something which was incomplete in our past life. That is why it's still a desire. And according to various traditions like Buddhism, Hinduism, you will see that that desire is the cause for us to be born again and again into this realm. Physical reality, whatever you want to call it. So the goal should be to find out what that desire is, what was left incomplete in a past birth. So as soon as you start living your life according to that desire, or living your life to fulfill that desire, you will feel like everything is flowing to you naturally. Because you're following your north. You're not getting stuck in this jungle again. You're not returning to the same place again and again. You won't feel like you're walking in circles. No. Everything will start to feel more aligned in your life. There are lots of misconceptions about the North Node. There are lots of, false information about the North Node. Like some say, make sure to watch the intro for some time, and then if you feel like you know all this stuff, then you can skip to the timestamp, but until then you can listen to what I'm gonna say. Let's first understand the story of the North Node. Now we know that there is something called the North Node. Let's first understand the mythological story of the North Node, then it will be more clearer of why it is called the craving, why it is called the desire. So in Hindu mythology, there is a story where the gods and the asuras, or the devas and the demons, all wanted to get immortal. Okay, so they all were finding answers to get immortal. And then they all found out that to get immortal, they had to extract a specific nectar and then consume it. If you think, gods and demons never cooperate with each other, right? They are two polar opposites. But when it came to this situation, they all cooperated with each other. They were like, okay, let's be friends. Let's extract the nectar. And then they did extract the nectar from a mountain. As soon as they got the nectar, they all started fighting. Those who cooperated started fighting. They were like,
I'm the one who's going to drink it first. No, I'm going to drink it first.
Lord Vishnu saw this. What he did was, he took the form of the most enchanting woman, Mohini. That was the name of this avatar. So by the beauty of her, every god and every demon was mesmerized, was like hypnotized. They were like shocked. And then Mohini took that nectar out of the hand and was like, I'm going to distribute this equally among all of you. Now because Mohini is very beautiful, they are all enchanted, right? So they didn't question. None of them questioned her. They all were like, okay, you're going to distribute, we're just going to be quiet. And then Mohini, however, is the form of Lord Vishnu, right? So what she did was, she started first distributing the Amrit to the gods. Because she knew, like, if I'm going to distribute it to the demons, then demons are going to get powerful before the gods, and there can be some, fights and stuff. So what she did was, she first started distributing it to the gods. Now no one saw past this. No one. Everyone was still enchanted. But one demon named Swarbanu, he was like, wait a minute. If this is gonna continue, then I'm not gonna get enough nectar for myself. Now you have to understand how intelligent this specific demon was to see past this, like, illusion. Okay? Because there are gods and other demons as well, but none of them saw past this. Only one demon named Swarbanu was the one who was like, wait a minute. He saw past that illusion. Okay, and what he did was, he took the form of a god. He disguised himself as a god and sat near the gods, sat with the gods, asking the nectar. And then even Lord Vishnu's avatar Mohini couldn't recognize him. As soon as Mohini was giving the nectar to him, two gods, Chandra and Surya, that means the moon and the sun, they both saw this. They identified that this is not a god. This is a demon disguised as a god. Then they informed it to Mohini. They shouted like, this is not a god, this is a demon. And then Mohini, Vishnu, she took the discus, the Sudarshana chakra, and then decapitated Swarbanu on the spot within like a split second. Now what happened was, because Swarbanu consumed the Amrit, he didn't die. Rather, his head became the Rahu, the North Node, and his body became Ketu, the South Node. Now in this video, we are going to talk only about the North Node, as in the head of Swarbanu, okay, the Rahu. Rahu's head is the part which got the nectar. If you think, his head is now stuck in that continuous loop of waiting and craving for the Amrit, and drinking it. As soon as he drank it, something was left. Something was gone. His body was gone. If you think correctly, Rahu is hunger, it's craving, it's desire, it's the brain thinking like, I need the nectar.
I need that nectar, I need that.
That is hunger, that is the desire. And as soon as you tasted it, you lost something, you lost the body, you don't have it anymore. That pain is also there. Just like Rahu's hunger towards Amrit, our desire that was left unfulfilled in the past birth is also a hunger. And sometimes this desire can be the cause of losing something in your life as well. You have to be very careful. Because head doesn't follow intuition. The head doesn't think twice. It is the result of all the confusion. It is the result of all the depression if you think clearly. So Arbanu's head is the first thing that thought like, oh, I'm going to disguise myself as a god. And then that same head got... So if you think, we have to balance the desire of our life very carefully. So if you understand Rahu more and more and more, you will understand that Rahu is like a shadow. Okay, like imagine you go in front of a wall and you see your shadow. You move here and there and you will see that your shadow changes so much. And a person who looks only at your shadow will never be able to identify how you look or who you are just by the shadow. No one will be able to identify. And that is what Rahu is. We can never identify what this is. With this Kali Yuga, the time period we are living in, we will never be able to identify. That's what I said, like, we are living in a jungle. We don't know what this time period is. It's like we are living in a Maya, an illusion, a dream. But some people like you who is watching this video has definitely so passed this.
Oh my God! Wow!
Some people say like you want to break the matrix, not be bound by the matrix. Then you definitely have to know how to balance your Rahu. What your Rahu is saying. Then only you will be able to break the matrix. For me, the matrix is doing everything you did in your past birth again and again. And not going out of the jungle. For me, the matrix is circling back to the same place again and not ever finding about a treasure box. So if you are someone who wants to break free from the matrix, then the first thing is you have to realize, why am I circling back to this place again? Yes, Rahu is many things in a birth chart, but in this video, look at Rahu as something that was just your unfulfilled desire of your past birth. So for anyone that doesn't have your horoscope, or for anyone that doesn't have your birth chart, or someone who is very new here and wants to learn about astrology, how to get your own birth chart and stuff, I'm going to show it to you right now. So you have to go to your browser and then search astroseek.com. And then you will see this page. In that page, you have to go scroll down a bit and then you will see birth chart. Click on it and then you will see the specific page, and then in that page you have to fill out your birth date, birth time and your birthplace. Now your birth time is also very important, so make sure that your birth time is accurate and don't mess it up, because even a slight mismatch of your correct birth time will create a whole different chart. So after filling all the correct details, make sure to press the calculate button and then you will see a chart like this. And then you have to download it to get something which looks like this. Now you know, as soon as you see this, you don't get scared thinking that it's alien. Oh my god, I know nothing about this chart. It's a whole diagram. Don't get scared. I'm going to teach you everything about this specific chart through this channel. So make sure to subscribe the channel right now. So what is Rahu in this birth chart, right? You have to search for this symbol here. Now don't be confused with these two symbols. In your chart, you have to make sure to find and focus only on this specific symbol as of now. So now you have to see that specific symbol in this grid, or whatever you want to call it, and then go below it and then see the number right in front of it. So that number is what tells us which house your Rahu is. So now you will see that this diagram, it is a circle, there are boxes. What do you mean? Please someone explain. So I'm keeping it very simple. This is your birth chart, and in that circle there are 12 sections, and each of that specific part symbolizes a very specific part of your life. For example, the first house is your appearance, the
7th house is your partner, the 10th house is your career, the 4th house is your family.
Check where your north node is in your specific chart. Okay, check the number right in front of that symbol. After checking that number, you can just jump to your specific placement. Now, make sure to not just watch your own specific placement, because your astrology will help you read people a lot. So if you have a friend, make sure to check their placement as well.
Or if you have a family member, make sure to check their placement. Or your specific partner, make sure to...
If you have Rahu in your first house. So what was your unfulfilled desire? Why did you come into this world? What do you want to fulfill? What is your craving? Right? Then, my friend, you have spent most of your lifetimes being the best friend, being the best partner, being the best, companion. Always the teammate, always the friend, always the companion. You always lived yourself for another person. Now in this birth, your soul wants you to live your life for yourself. To live your life as if you are the main character. Don't be the side character of another person's story. Don't be afraid to show off. That's what I would say. You have to learn to live like you are the main character in this life. That is what your soul wants. And the more you live like that, the more happy and aligned and fulfilled you will feel. Because the first house is your self, appearance, your personality, your overall aura. So Rahu is here. Okay, so sometimes this placement of Rahu can give people being so self-obsessed with themselves that it will be the cause of their own fall. Imagine a person who is so self-obsessed with their image that they do so many cosmetic surgeries and that causes the death of them. Okay, so another thing is, imagine a person who is so self-obsessed or that they do so much workouts in the gym and then their kidneys fail and then they die. So you have to balance this energy. Sometimes this desire can consume you. Okay? You have to understand what you want. The rest of the chart must be seen as well. But yeah, the main story is you are the main character. Live your life like you are the main character. And unless you live your life like you are the main character and develop, strong belief systems about yourself, about your appearance, maybe your overall looks, until you do that, life will feel like it's circling back to the same place again and again. You will experience the same problems again and again. Things might be falling apart. Things might not last long. Okay? So you have to be very careful to not live your life like a side character, because you must be like feeling like, companionship is very important. I can't betray my friend. I have to be with my friend. I have to be with my partner, no matter how toxic that relationship is. Or maybe you have to listen to your family, no matter what you think. Like, you might feel like your family's customs, traditions, they are very important. You are not important. Stop it. You are here to be the main character, and there will be lots of, by seeing the whole chart, we can determine whatever the challenges you're facing. But no matter what you're facing, always remember you are the main character in your life. That is one of the main things. You will be someone who is the black sheep of the community, if you want to say. You will be someone who definitely will break a rule by the later part of your life. Because Rahu matures at the age of like 40 to 42. So definitely we see a huge change of your personality, maybe the looks, maybe your overall belief system. There will be a change. So main thing is, accept yourself. Be self-obsessed, but learn the difference between ego and self-respect as well. Okay, so some people get obsessed in this ego as well. Some people will think like, oh my god, I'm the main character, no people deserve. Then you have to be careful of Shani, the Saturn karma. Because if you harm other people and be the main character, then there are some consequences you will have to face in another birth. You have to remember to be a virtuous main character, let's say. Okay, if you are in a movie, you are the main character, main actor. That is who you are. So live your life like that. All the best. Make sure to subscribe the channel, like the video, and make sure to drop a comment, because I want to know if you have ever felt like you are not the main character. If you have ever felt like you always lived in the shadows, or if you have always, prioritized the relationship between you and another person rather than your own self, because that's what you have been doing for lifetimes. Your main desire for this birth, to get out of this jungle, your compass is saying, accept yourself. Be self-focused. Improve yourself so much. So going to gym, doing facials, taking care of yourself by building self-care routines. So in your phone, in your Instagram, there must be reels of self-care routines. There must be reels of going to gym. There must be reels of, how to perfect yourself. There must be reels of, all sorts of self-obsessed personality type of videos in your reels. If that is how your Instagram reels and TikTok everything is, then you are in the correct side of Rahu. If it is not, then no. So as of now, what I want to say is accept yourself, be the main character, stop living your life for other people. That's one of the main things you are here. If you don't do that, then my friend, you're circling back to the same place again and again in the jungle. So make sure to comment, like and subscribe. Let's meet again from another video. If you have Rahu in the second house, your past birth was quite tragic, my friend. You must have been someone who had a past birth with trauma. You must have been someone who experienced betrayal at the last moment of your life, past life. You must have been someone who experienced a lot of death in a past birth. Something that is so heavy is there imprinted in your soul. What your soul wants right now in this birth is very simple. To get away from the chaos. To live a life of peace, happiness, build your own values, be with family, experience the pleasures of life. That is what Rahu here wants. So Rahu here definitely influences your voice. You have to be careful of this because in a past birth, maybe you used your speech in a good way or bad way. We don't know that. By seeing the rest of the chart, we can say that. But from this specific placement, it definitely says that you used your speech a lot or not at all. So in this birth, the more you focus in your speech also, the more better you will feel it will balance your Rahu a lot. So be more cautious about your speech, be more careful about your speech, how you speak, what you speak, how you speak to yourself. That will help you balance your Rahu. You also have to be careful about your food habits to balance your Rahu, okay? Because you will have very weird food habits. There are possibilities of allergies, indigestion. If you have this placement, definitely then there is some type of a physical aggression inside of you. Okay, because in a past birth, your end was not so happy. That pain is there inside of you. So if you're someone who knows, body healing and energy and stuff, then you know that trauma manifests as, diseases in your body. So you have to be very careful of, food allergies and, health issues. That definitely manifests because of your past life trauma. Diagnosed health issues and, even sudden accidents and stuff can happen to you. You have to be very careful. But the main GPS, what the main direction your soul wants to go is to live a life of happiness. That's what I want to say. Simple as that. Because I don't know whether other astrologers would agree with me on this. There's lots of concepts about this as well. But second house to me, if I see it as a point of what my GPS wants to say to me, then I want to say live a life of happiness. So, if you look into other videos of other astrologers talking about if you have Rahu in the second house, what do you want to do? You want to build your values, you will be very rich and stuff. The main thing I see is, in this Kali Yuga, in this lifetime, what people find happiness is through money, right? So, most of the people, they have this desire to, I'm going to be a billionaire, I'm going to be so rich, I'm going to earn so much money, I'm not going to be dependent on anyone, and I'm going to be so happy no matter what. That's not what your soul wants, my friend. Your soul wants true happiness. Your soul wants peace. Your soul wants, being relaxed maybe. You might have some neurological conditions as well, and sometimes depression, anxiety, all sorts of things might be there. What your soul wants is to live happily, peacefully, build your own values, because the outside world might sometimes say that, earning money will give you happiness. Outside world might say building a good home will give you happiness. Getting this degree would give this happiness. No. Later in life, you will realize this is my happiness. Something you will, according to the rest of the chart, we will definitely see what that happiness is. What the soul wants is to stand by yourself, away from all the trauma, away from all the darkness and come into the light. You have experienced a lot in your past birth, even in the past of this birth. You will see subconscious patterns of yourself trauma bonding of yourself, facing betrayals, and now all your soul wants is, oh my god, I just want happiness, man. I want a true family. I want to live a life of luxury, richness. Maybe you were not that rich in your past birth. Maybe you were not rich in your childhood. In every aspect of this axis, what I see is you will be starving of things. Whether it is money, bonds, true family, maybe health, all that causes you not to be at peace in your own body, right? So later on, you will realize that Rahu in the second house will develop after the age of 42, because Rahu matures at the age of 42 to 40. So you will see, you will find happiness in something that is totally different. It will change your value system, your belief system a lot. Imagine you become a billionaire, but after some time you will realize money doesn't give you happiness. Or imagine you become an artist and you draw something, and then you will realize art doesn't give me happiness anymore. All of this, I have seen a lot of chart with Rahu in the second house. One of the major things is, no matter what you do, one of the major things, like Rahu in the first house, I said live like you're the main character. For Rahu in the second house, I want to say is be at peace. Okay, calm down. You have left behind all the trauma in your past birth. This birth, just relax, my friend. Calm down. Be happy. Try to live your life like you're at peace. Yes, there's a lot to talk about Rahu in the second house. There are various aspects. Maybe your parents could be of different cultures. Maybe you were born into a family which is not stable, or those aspects can be talked in another video. So make sure to subscribe the channel. Make sure to comment whether this resonates if you have Rahu in the third house. So, my friend, you now want to identify what your past life must have been, right? Or whether you're going in the correct path of your compass. Then what you have to know is, in past births or past lives, you have spent lifetimes seeing the bigger picture. You were someone who had a lot of knowledge. You were someone who had a lot of perspectives, ideas. So in this birth, what your soul wants is to express its voice. You are here to talk it out. You are here to tell people what you have experienced. Because imagine in a past birth, maybe you have been someone who has traveled a lot. So in this birth, you are here to teach people how to do traveling. Maybe you are a travel blogger. Maybe you know different languages and you are here to teach people about that language. Definitely you will be in this birth highly intelligent, book smart. Another thing is, here in this birth, you are here to build a community for yourself. Maybe friends, maybe colleagues, maybe, work clients. You're here to, whatever you have studied, whatever you have experienced in your past birth, you are here to share it with the people. One of the main things is stop focusing on the bigger picture in this life. Stop trying to travel to other countries and explore this, that without experiencing your own culture first, without experiencing your own neighborhood first. Okay, try to build a life where smaller things matter more, rather than the bigger picture. Rahu's desire is to live in the moment, take care of the now, be practical, teach what you have learned. Past births, you must have definitely been someone who believed in a higher force, maybe God, maybe the universe. But you were not satisfied. Maybe your wish wasn't fulfilled. Maybe you felt like no one can help me. So in this birth, you're you know what, I'm going to do it myself. I'm not going to be dependent on anyone. So this higher self in a past birth must have been your father, must have been someone like a teacher, must have been someone who was, an authority figure. So you never got what you expected from them. That wound is there in your soul. That regret is there. So in this birth, there will be a feeling of I want to do it by myself. I will do it by myself. So that hard work ethic, being so smart, being so, courageous, all those qualities will be present if you have Rahu in the third house. So you will be someone, you have to be very careful of being stubborn, of doing stuff which are not divine also, because at the end of the day, we are human beings, right? So there's a tendency you don't believe in higher things like maybe God, maybe the government, maybe your father, that will cause you to earn money in ways which are unethical. Maybe do stuff which are unethical because you have lost trust in the universe. But my friend, it's only for this birth. Okay, so you have to be born again in another word, right? So you have to be very careful. Yes, you do have a very powerful speech, you have a powerful mind, you have a powerful thinking pattern, and you have to be very careful to use that voice of yours in a correct way. So you are here to, work on your own. Yes, you might feel like you are left alone, there is no support coming at all, you have to do your work all alone. Do it, my friend. That by doing it, you will feel like you are so lucky, you will feel like lots of things are coming in your way. Destiny will feel more alive the more you be a hard worker. Okay? Be a hard worker and a smart worker, both. Because you definitely have some certain karma, which I want to say, in your past birth, where you did something bad, I want to say. Did something bad, or maybe you experienced something bad where the universe's support is kind of not there for you now. So you have to do it all alone. You have to do it all by yourself. That feeling will be there for you. In this lifetime, this can also manifest as, you not trusting your teachers, you not trusting your father, you not trusting anyone who is, maybe even this video, you might not trust me. You might feel like this is fake. Your soul wants to live on your own terms. Now, it's a wonder if you have watched until now, because Rahu in the third definitely won't make you listen till the end. You will have a restless brain, yes, and sometimes you will have trust issues when it comes to gurus, teachers and stuff. So, if you have the video until now, make sure to drop a comment that you have watched the video, and also like the video, subscribe the channel so that you will know more about your birth chart placements in the future through future videos. So yeah, see you later in another video. If you have Rahu in your 4th house, you are someone who has achieved so much in your past birth. Whether it is reputation, whether it is money, whether it is a social status, whether it is, vehicles, properties, you have achieved it all in a past birth. You have been someone who used to work hard a lot. Imagine yourself like being someone who is very strict about your work, about your job, about your career. You have been like that in a past birth. But this birth, what your soul wants is to relax. Is to not go behind, status, reputation, career, job, whatever. It wants to feel safe. It wants to feel at peace. It wants to feel like your home. Okay, so the main story of this Rahu Ketu axis is that most of the time in a past birth, you didn't have a good family life, but you thrived in your professional life. Like you see, there are some people who reach heights in their professional life, but their family is breaking apart, or maybe they never had a family. So in this birth, what your soul wants is to, I have achieved all of that. Now let me find some peace. Now let me build a home. Now let me have a family. Now let me experience what a family feels like. Okay, so this also involves healing your inner child. This also involves, building a beautiful home. Sometimes, when you're growing up, you will feel that your home is so miserable. Your family is so miserable. Like there's so many problems. There's so much drama. There's so much stuff going on inside your house, inside your family when you're young. But when you grow up, you will focus more on your career, social status, reputation, ignoring all of that. But inside your heart, inside your soul, what you want is to, live a life full of peace, comfort, to build a home, to feel safe. The most important thing here is, to build a home where you can finally go to sleep. Because in past lives imagine you were a soldier, you always went to war, you always were not home, but you were a very good soldier. You were someone who used to, be very ethical, be very grounded, disciplined in your job, and you reached heights. But you never were at peace at your own home, right? In this birth, you want to feel safe. You want to return to your home. It's calling you home. The soul is like, I want to go home now. Enough of all of this. So as a result of this, most of the time you will feel detached from your career as life goes on, or you will feel like there's nothing working, like nothing is working in your career field, professional job, etc. And then after some point in life, you will feel like no matter the status you have achieved, you will still not be feeling at peace, because all it wants is to, be home. So these are the type of people who will be like working from home because they are so attached to their home starting from a young age. They will be like, I don't want to leave home. But sometimes success will also come to you when you leave your birthplace. Okay, because your soul wants to build your own home. And that doesn't mean like building a physical home outside of your home country somewhere. No. Sometimes it is, healing your inner child. If you go to a psychologist, they will definitely say like, you definitely have a wound of not being home, or you definitely have a wound of not feeling safe at home. So it can manifest as, sicknesses in your body. Sometimes, carrying weight which is never dropping, or problems in your skeletal system. Sometimes it can happen. It can also give issues to your mother a lot, because 4th house is also your mother. So this can also mean like you have some very heavy karma with your mother or mother figure related people in your life. Imagine you're age 20 to 30 watching this video, then you will feel like, no, I want to earn so much money. I want to get rich. I want to be this, I want to get this promotion. I want to be this person in my job, career, whatever. After 40, if someone is watching this, and if your Rahu is healed, if you are in the correct side of Rahu, as I said earlier, then you will definitely be feeling like, I'm never feeling rest. I'm unable to sleep. My sleep is not, good enough. I'm not getting enough sleep. My sleep is bad. I'm never feeling safe. I'm not feeling peace in my own home. There are so many problems going on in my home. Then all you have to do is balance it up. Balance your Rahu. Most of the time, what my advice is for people who have Rahu in the 4th house, stop focusing on your career a lot. And also stop focusing on being home a lot. Because Rahu and Ketu is all about balance, right? So the moment you lose balance, through my experience, it is one of the hardest and one of the most painful Rahu Ketu axis, because this is the placement where you don't get enough satisfaction in your career, or you don't get enough satisfaction in your inner world as well. That means your own home. There will always be a battle between your private life, your public life. There will be always a battle with, the outside world, the inner world. Sometimes everything in the home will be fine. Something in the career, public, social status will be declining. Or something in the professional life will be very good, excelling in your career, job, whatever. Your home life will be depreciating. It will be breaking apart. So that's why I say Rahu Ketu in the 4th and 10th house axis is one of the most painful part, but it won't be painful if you learn to balance it enough. Your soul is someone who has lived your life for your career. Your soul is someone who was very responsible. The moment you let go of all of this, you will feel more calm. Because most of the people who have this placement will still be stuck in their Ketu, 10th house, right? So they will still be stuck in what will the society think. I have to earn this. I have to get this promotion, all sorts of things. But you won't feel peace in your own body or in your own home or with your own family members. The goal should be to feel peace, feel safe, and, have a conversation with your body. Have a conversation with your body saying like, you know what, I'm safe now. I'm home now. And my self-worth is not from what I achieve. That will be a wound of you. Like you will always feel like I have to do this, I have to do that for me to feel loved. Don't. Your soul will be like, I have to achieve this, then only I will feel at peace. I have to achieve this, then only my family members will love me. Don't do that. You have achieved a lot in your past birth, and this birth, your soul wants you to love yourself. And the moment you start doing that, everything will start aligning to you. But yes, there's a lot to talk about this placement. There are various aspects. But in this video, I'm just talking about how Rahu in the 4th house affects your soul journey. Okay, what you were in your past birth. Just from this one specific placement, we can't be very clear of who you were. But yes, it says a part of the story of your past life. Full birth chart analysis has to be done to see the full bigger picture. But yes, this is a part of that picture. The moment you start balancing your Rahu in this case, you will manifest everything you want naturally in your life. Because you have experienced all the luxury, all the status, all the, privileges in your past birth, definitely. Then in this birth, what you have to do is, feel safe, be happy, build a home, build a family, build connections with people, and all those byproducts from your past birth, like, luxury, maybe social status, maybe houses, maybe properties, maybe vehicles, all of that things will come naturally to you. At the same time, I have seen lots of people with this placement who are still stuck in their Ketu, who are never going out of this jungle, who are circling back to the same place again and again. And if you want to check whether you are circling back to the same place, the key is, are you thinking about what the society thinks? If you are someone who thinks about what will the society think of me, then you're circling back in the same place again. Or if you're someone who is like, I don't care of what the society thinks, I'm not causing any harm to any person, but I'm living my life as who I want to. These are the people who will pass exams, who will get degrees just because the society wants it, or just because they want to be seen as someone from the society. But at the heart, they won't feel satisfied at all. They are the people who will do the job they dislike the most just because the society is asking for it. But in this life, your soul wants, to do the job which you like, to do the job which you love. Definitely, I will bring it in another video, like this placement will definitely have a unique talent. Because Ketu is in the 10th house means you have definitely mastered something in your past birth. And if you do that as your career, excellent. Okay. But what happens is this matrix, this reality, this society, you will be forced to do things which you don't like. But if you want to win over this, okay, win this battle and get out of this jungle, then as I said, number one thing you have to see is, are you worried about what the society will think? If you are someone who is very worried about what the society, what your parents, what the other people are thinking about you, then you will never be able to return home or find peace within yourself. So another thing is, some people are there who never had a physical home in a past birth. Also can be seen from this placement. For example, like imagine a person who always used to live in rented houses or always had to move from one house to another. But your soul wants to stop. I need one house. I want to be in that house. I want to decorate my house. I want to, love my house. I want to have a house of my own. That can also be a longing, depending on the other placements as well. So yes, definitely one of the main thing is build your own home. Okay, your focus should be to build your own home somewhere away from your birthplace. Also, your focus should be to build a home, to build a safe place within your own body without focusing on the external. Because first you have to cultivate being safe in your own body. Because your body is your home, right? The moment you start doing that, you will see the home, the luxury, everything will start coming to you naturally. There's a lot to talk about this, so we will talk about the rest of what this placement says in another video. But as of today, I hope you got the answer to what your soul journey has been from the past birth to this birth. And I hope that you're exiting the jungle rather than circling back in the same place again and again. So make sure to drop a comment whether you related to this, and make sure to drop any question if you have regarding this placement. I will answer it. And also subscribe the channel so that you don't miss any latest upcoming videos. If you have Rahu in the 5th house, you are someone who has spent your past life, serving the community. You always saw the bigger picture. Like imagine you were an activist. You were someone who is like, there's so much going on in the world. I don't care about my happiness. I'm going to work for those people. You could have been someone like a lawyer. You could have been an activist. You could have been someone who used to help people a lot. By neglecting your own happiness, your own creativity, your own joy, you were always involved in bigger moments. You could have been someone who, who was like a feminist. Maybe you were someone who used to fight for people's right. Or maybe you could have been someone who always chased, your goals, your next step. Or you could have been someone who always used to, be with your friends all the time. But the cost of it was neglecting your own inner child. your own creativity, your own joy, or maybe even your own children. One placement can't tell the whole story of your life. The full chart has to be analyzed. But here, one of the main things that we can clearly see is that you always used to ignore your inner child, your own children, maybe your creativity, your joy for other people, for your own goals. But if you think clearly, that means that you were never truly happy. Because joy is also 5th house, I would say. Your inner child, your romance is also 5th house. So maybe you neglected it and then was chasing all those goals, aspiration, community, friendships. In this birth, what your soul wants to is to live a life like you're a child. Okay? Imagine you're a little child. How would you live your life? You would be, so curious. You would be loving every person equally, right? You wouldn't have hate towards anyone. That's how you will be. You have to see whether you're balancing your Rahu. If you want to see, then you have to, first of all, have a hobby. Okay? That is the first thing I ask the client. If he or she has Rahu in the 5th house, do you have a hobby? And if that hobby is, drawing, maybe playing video games, that is good for you. That means you are healing your inner child kind of thing, right? And you're focusing on your joy. Despite the outside noise, if you're someone who focuses on your inner, child, inner joy, then you are balancing your Rahu. In this birth, naturally you will have this aura of being humanitarian, of being unique. You will have that naturally. In the past birth, you have the tendency of like hyperactiveness. Okay, so you were always involved in something. Maybe your community, maybe your friendships, maybe your goals. But this birth is like slow down. Listen to your inner self, listen to your inner voice, listen to your inner child. Okay? Learn to enjoy something, learn to have some joy, learn to express your creativity. And that is why they say like Rahu in the 5th house can sometimes give issues related to getting pregnant or issues related to, childbirth. Because this person naturally will not be in tune with their own inner child. So, biologically, how will you give birth to another human being? In my other practices, I have seen that you have to be very attuned and you have to heal your inner child a lot to have a healthy childbirth. Because this placement shows that very clearly. So if you are feeling stuck in those type of aspects as well, I will say more about it in the upcoming videos. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. But as of now, today I'm just focusing on what your soul has been doing for lifetimes and what your soul wants to do in this birth. So if you want to see whether you are living correctly according to your Rahu energy or whether you are escaping that loop of being stuck in the jungle, then you have to see certain stuff. Okay? One is, see whether your goals are very important than your inner joy, than your inner expression, than your creativity. Second thing, see whether your friendships are more important to you than your romantic partner. Okay? Third thing, see whether your, siblings, maybe community is important to you rather than your children. You have to focus more on your 5th house themes. I will attach it here. So you have to focus more on these things rather than the 11th house themes, which I will also attach here. Okay? So you can also have a tendency to be like hiding inside groups, friends. Okay? You're not living for yourself. Start living for yourself as well. Start expressing yourself. Like you might be someone who is in a dance group. Let's say you're a member of the BTS. So BTS is known as a group of people, right? Coming together to perform. This lifetime is asking you to be an original person. Be like singer and then do a dance show. Okay? Like you're in a stage. Perform it like you are the main character. Stop hiding inside groups. And this can also manifest as being in some certain groups, in certain charts I have seen, like friendships can be really harmful to you without you even realizing it. Sometimes friendships can be so blessed. Sometimes the people that you associate will be the reason for your own downfall. Sometimes the people that you associate will also be the reason for your success. Sometimes what these people do is they will be like so against the society, communities, rules, regulations. And they will be doing their thing. For example, I would say, just imagine a person who is so obsessed in his or her own joy that they are causing trouble to other people. That is possible. It's also the placement where sometimes, as I said, there can be issues with your own children. But you have to always remember that children will play a huge role in your life. It is a karmic lesson to you. You have to learn to see your children as who they are rather than the expectations of the society as well. And try to have a good bond with your own children. The moment you see your child as your own inner child, maybe something will change. At the same time, try to heal your own inner child as well. So the spiritual aspect of this placement that I have seen is that you are here to create something. Okay, because 5th house is the house of creation, is the house of creativity, is the house of children. Like soul is asking, maybe there is something in your life that you have been trying to do for days. Maybe it's a new business. Maybe it's a new idea. Maybe it is a new creation. Maybe it's a song. Maybe it's something. Okay, maybe it is food. Maybe it is your own children, the idea of having children. Do it. Because you didn't do it in your past birth. So symbolically what this placement says is you are here to create something. Yes, you are here to give birth to something. It can be biological children or it can also be symbolical children. Like, your own song, your own dance, your own painting, your own business, your own... So yes, there's a lot to talk about this placement. I will bring lots of more videos about Rahu throughout the upcoming days. So make sure to subscribe the channel, drop a comment and let me know whether this is relatable to you, whether you did relate to any of the stuff that I said. And also if you have any question, make sure to drop it up in the comments. I will make sure to reply to it. Or if you have Rahu in the 6th house, so what does your North Node actually means and how to get out of this jungle? Are you circling back in the same place again and again? That's your question, right? So, in the past life or in your past birth, you have been someone who was always spiritual, I would say. Who used to be lost in your own imagination. Okay? Who used to isolate yourself. This is the placement of most of the monks, people who live in isolation. So in the past birth, you had definitely ignored the real world. That means there's a real life we all have to live every day, right? Like waking up from sleep,
Getting up from bed, brushing our teeth, eating breakfast, going to the job.
There's always a daily routine that each and every one of us has, right? You are someone who definitely didn't do it. You had your own way of living and that own way of living was something very isolating. So maybe you were a monk, maybe you were a prisoner, sometimes this is possible, maybe you were a wanderer who just wanders. You don't have a plan, you don't have a destination, you just get your own bike and then you just wander around. No plan, nothing. You trust in the destiny so much, you trust in, your intuition so much that you lose your logical thinking, that you lose your practical thinking. You're always in the world of magic, illusions, maybe, or addiction sometimes. Okay? So, there are lots of aspects to this specific placement. One is health-wise. So, sometimes you could have been someone who ignored your health and was into addictions in a past birth. So, maybe you were a drug addict who neglected your own health. So, in this birth, you have a purpose to take care of your own body by getting rid of addictions. Okay, that addiction can be drug, food, even, other sorts of things in life. Another aspect of this is, enemies. In a past birth, you must have had enemies, but you never took the initiative to destroy them. You were always like, what, just whatever, leave me alone, I'm gonna not harm you. But in this birth, life is like, you want to fight off that enemy. True logical thinking. Don't just, hand it over to the universe. Fight your problems, fight your enemies, fight your diseases. Logical thinking over intuitive thinking kind of thing. So naturally in this world what happens is you will have immense intuition, like your dreams will be so magical kind of thing, weird sometimes. But in this world you are forced to, make a plan for your life. Get up and do the work. Kind of thing. Like imagine you were a monk, so you are someone who is like, I don't want, this human life. I want to live my life as doesn't have any expectation, who doesn't have any plan, just live the life, peacefully, no harm to anyone. No. In this birth, your soul wants you to live the life. Okay, if there are problems, solve it out. If there is some task, do it. If there is some thing that you want to achieve, plan it, strategize it, and then achieve it. So one of the main things I say to my clients, if they have this placement, is go to gym, work on your body, because a person who has discipline to get their body in shape will definitely master the Rahu in the 6th house. Because imagine a person who is very addicted to food, those are 12th house themes, right? So if a person goes to the gym and works out every day within like 1.5 to 2 years, they will achieve their dream figure. If they do that, then definitely they have won over their Rahu destiny. Okay, so another aspect of this is there can be legal issues sometimes there can be health issues sometimes, so the overall chart needs to be analyzed. But one of the main things here, the main aspect in this video what I'm talking about is, what you did in the past birth and what you're supposed to do in this birth. That's what I'm talking in this video, in this specific video. So I'm going to bring more videos about Rahu in upcoming videos, so make sure to subscribe the channel. But yes, your soul wants to start thinking practically, logically. You will see that you don't have those qualities for a majority of life. You will be like very delusional sometimes, maybe intuitive. You always follow your heart. You're like, you know what? I don't want to do this by planning. Let me just take my bike, go around the city. I don't have a plan. Another thing here is that you are born here to win the material world. Last birth, you have won the spiritual world, I would say. So in this birth, you are here to be human. Okay, in today's world, being a human means, getting a job. You must have been someone like a yogi in the past, but who neglected all of these things. You must have been so deep in meditation, neglecting your body. Or someone who, because of all, maybe addictions, maybe because of wrongdoings, imagine you were a prisoner. So by seeing the whole chart, definitely we can see the whole story of your past life. But to this specific one placement, I'm saying, like, sometimes there is a possibility you were a prisoner. Prisoner doesn't always have to be, being a prisoner inside a police station. No, sometimes a prisoner is, living in a household where you are unable to do anything. A prisoner doesn't do all the stuff that a normal human does, right? It will be just inside the cell without doing anything. So, or imagine a traveler who is traveling all the time and is not having a set of daily routines or a self-care routine. Okay, so in this birth, to check whether you are in the correct side of the Rahu or whether you are escaping this jungle and circling back again, you have to see whether you have a good routine. Number one thing. Okay, you have to see whether your body is in a perfect condition. Sometimes this placement can also give you lots of health issues. Sometimes we have to see the whole chart for it, okay? But yes, if you have to have a major focus on your health and your body a lot, that will help balance this Rahu. And also get your work done. Don't postpone it. Don't be like, will it work? Don't try to follow your intuition. Yes, your intuition is needed. I'm not saying you don't. But in this birth, the life is asking you to, now stand up and do the work. You have been thinking, you're not doing it. Don't waste time. Start doing the work now. You will face with conflicts, enemies in your future or in your life, but that doesn't mean that you will never overcome them. You will definitely have the courage, the resilience, and also the divine protection of, your enemies will fall apart. They will definitely lose. But that also means in one aspect that you will have enemies for them to lose. Right? So there will be tension in your workplace sometimes, in hospitals, in police stations, type of things, legal issues. There can be tension. There can be issues related to these stuff. So it's very important for you to balance the Rahu. So I said the remedy for you to balance the Rahu, go to the gym. Go to the gym, work out, and focus on your body. The rest you'll start following. Also have a proper self-care routine and also a daily routine as well. So I'm going to bring a lot of videos about Rahu and other placements in the birth chart in the upcoming videos. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also like the video so that many other people will find this video and share it with people, And also please drop a comment whether you were able to relate to this. There is any question that you want to ask, make sure to drop it in the comments. I will definitely answer it. So thank you so much. See you in another video. So if you have Rahu in the 7th house, Now you want to understand what your compass is trying to say to you and whether you are circling back to the same place again and again, right? So then, my friend, you are someone who has spent your life in a past birth being so hyper independent, okay? And you never trusted in partnerships. That was your life theme in a past birth. You were someone who is, doing all your work alone, maybe cooking your own food, maybe going to the job and providing for your own self. You never trusted in another person to do it. But in this birth, your soul wants to trust another person. Okay, your soul wants to understand the concept of what true partnership is. What true partnership is. Okay, so this partnership can be romantic, it can be platonic, it can be anything. It is, living life with another partner. Sometimes people confuse it with only, a romantic aspect of it. But no, if you see, business partnerships are also dealt by the 7th house. The 7th house will be the world, right? So how you deal with the world is also influenced by this. So partnership, imagine you are in a taxi and the driver will be a partner for you, right? In that moment to guide you in that path, to take you to your destination. It will be a partner for a certain amount of time. So you will have trust issues. A lot of trust issues, trusting the other person. And until you develop that, or until you heal that wound, you will be facing those situations again and again. Okay? But after you heal that, the wound of trusting others, the wound of, getting the help from others, the day you heal that, you will get some really, really good partnerships in your life. Blessed partnerships. Whether it is to marriage, whether it is to the platonic, whether it is to business partnership, you will be blessed. Okay? So naturally you will be someone who is very detached from this world because Ketu is in your 1st house. You will be intuitive. You will be someone who is like, I don't need marriages. Oh, I don't need this world. It can be seen from your dressing style maybe. You must be spiritual maybe. But there is this inner desire of you to get married, to be with a partner. Okay, and that inner desire can sometimes cause your own destruction as well, because as I said, Rahu is also illusion, and that illusion you have to balance it. Okay, so if you don't balance it, this placement is people who are like, always in a partnership, they can't be alone at all, because Rahu is consuming their mind. That's why they say, like, if you have Rahu in the 7th house, there is a possibility of divorces, or there is a possibility of cheating in relationships, but not all the time. But yes, there can be a situation, because even while being in a partnership, if you don't heal the wound of trusting the other person, if you don't heal the wound of never feeling alone, then you will definitely find a partner despite having a partner. Right? You will definitely feel like you need a partner all the time, but you have a wife at home, or you have a husband at home, and you will feel like they are not supporting to you. So you will try to find that partner in another person. But the wound is you. You are not trusting the other person. You are not believing in partnership. You are not looking at the bigger picture of partnership. Maybe you have expectations of this is what partnership should look like. This is what partnership is look like. So that hunger, that craving is causing your own downfall sometimes. Okay, so you have to see whether, there are lots of aspects to see, but one of the major things is, if you are healed, if your Rahu is working properly, then you have to see how you act with other people, how you act with your romantic partner. That will show it. And also this is a placement where people marry lots of the time outside of their own caste, sometimes their own religion, their own country, their own nationality, sometimes Rahu, because that is, unconventional paths as well. So that is another aspect of this Rahu. There's a lot to talk about Rahu, but in this video I'm talking only about one aspect, and that is how you spent your life in the past birth and what your soul wants to happen in this present lifetime. Okay, so in this present lifetime you are here to master the art of partnership. So you have to be very careful in partnership, dealing with partnerships, and definitely if you go to therapy and stuff, you will find out that there are wounds regarding partnership, that you don't trust people easily. And if you heal that, as I said, you will be divinely blessed by some wonderful partnerships, because not everyone will get this placement, right? Some people are tested through partnerships. Yes, some people will attract so many karmic people, but you are here to experience what true partnership is if you are properly healed. And the moment you quantum jump into that timeline, the moment you heal, trust me, you're going to experience so much through the partnership, whether it is through a romantic partnership, whether it is through a platonic partnerships, but your life is going to be so smooth because everyone needs a partner, right? But your soul purpose is itself to be with the partner. Imagine how blessed you are. And that is why they say, like, if people who are Ketu in the first house, they are divinely protected. Because the rest you have achieved most of the time. In your past births, every aspect of your life, there is a possibility that you have achieved it. In this birth, it's only to master the partnership art, the art of partnership. So another thing here is you will be like you're not opening yourself up to another person. You are always secretive in nature. People will have a hard time decoding who you are, what your likes, what your interests are. That is because you're never saying it out to another person. So in this birth, your soul wants you to talk with the partner, talk with another person. Let another person know what your thoughts are. Let another person know what your favorite food is. Let another person know what your favorite color is. That's what your soul wants. Because imagine spending your whole life alone, not having a friend, not having a partner, and you had so many thoughts inside of you for so long. But now your soul wants to talk. Have a connection with the partner. Okay? So it's very important for you to marry the correct person. It's very important for you to have a correct partner, whether it is platonic, romantic. So obviously we have to see the rest of the chart, whether you are truly blessed to find the correct partner or whether you will be marrying your correct partner. But yes, if you heal those wounds and if you know about manifesting, quantum jumping and those stuff, you are definitely blessed and you will definitely find the perfect partner in this birth. The aspect of this is like you always focus only on you. Okay, you are like, I am the best. You know, you are always not the best. I am the best. And you always ignore the needs, the moods, the emotions of other people. You always focused on you. You always focused on your looks. Maybe you blamed another person for their looks. Maybe you always wanted your favorite food to be cooked in the house and not the other person's favorite food. You always, let's say, maybe you were self-obsessed with yourself. Maybe you had an ego in a past birth. But in this birth, life is asking you to, take a look at how other people think as well. Take a look at what the other person feels as well. Take a look at how other people handle emotions as well. So this is another aspect of this placement, that life is asking you to have a look and understanding of another person rather than yourself. That is, partnership. Knowing another person rather than yourself. Okay, so you have to be very careful about Rahu's obsession, because Rahu can also give you obsession which can destroy you. Rahu can also give you obsession which can build you up. I hope it made sense, but there's a lot, as I said, there's a lot to talk about this placement. I will bring it in future videos. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also I hope I made my point clear of what your soul journey has been. And for you to check whether you're circling back in the same place again and again, what you have to do is you have to check how you behave with other people. As I said, how much do you think you're independent? Okay, do you value other people's opinions or not? Those things matter in making this Rahu a better placement. Also, make sure to drop a comment and let me know whether this was relatable, whether there is anything that I missed out. And also, if there is any question that you want to ask, make sure to drop it out in the comments. I will make sure to answer it. So, thank you so much. Let's meet through another video. Rahu in your 8th house. You are someone who has spent your past life in comfort, with family, I would say, in peace, enjoying the small pleasures of life with family maybe. And then, you are someone who used to be with lots of security, with lots of values. Security as in, let's say, material possessions. You had lots of wealth, let's say. And that wealth made you feel like you're safe. You're secure. You're guarded. You were someone who had a family to you. That made you feel safe, that made you feel at peace. Okay? But in this birth, what your soul wants is to experience stuff more than your family, more than material possessions, more than peace. So that means you have your North Node in 8th house, right? So 8th house is everything about death, darkness, every darker aspects of life It is the 8th house. So naturally, your soul wants to explore the darkness in this birth. That's why you're watching this video right now, because astrology is considered a taboo subject in the society, right? But you are here watching this. You are here trying to understand the deeper aspects of life. In this birth, what your soul wants is to stop tying your worth, your values, your stability, your security to material outside things. Okay, because in this life, you will experience sudden changes in your life which you didn't even expect. Sudden deaths, problems that occurs in your life, sudden sicknesses, sudden accidents, sorts of things can happen. This is happening to you because your soul wants to experience getting out of a problem. Because in a past birth, you definitely didn't have much of problems. Who used to live in comfort, who used to enjoy the day-to-day pleasures of life. You were someone who used to, be loved by everyone, let's say family. So in this birth, your soul wants to experience the darkness, the problems, everything. And you will do it. That means you are a very strong personality-wise, but you have to develop into it. So this will naturally manifest as getting detached from your own values. Okay, like this is how I should be, this is how things should be done. But as life goes on, it will be broken and you will have to build your own value systems. And you will also see karmic problems and issues related to your family and your in-laws. And also here you will see that in past births, you have always achieved your own successes. Okay, you have achieved your own properties. Let's say you have earned your properties, your wealth and stuff. But in this birth, there is a major aspect of inheritances. There is a possibility that you will inherit stuff rather than earning it by yourself. And you have to be very careful because inheritances doesn't always mean physical things. You can inherit a physical house, a property, yes. But you can also inherit karmic debts from people. You can also inherit diseases from people. You can also inherit, genetic disorders from people. There are certain things you can inherit from people. So you have to be very careful of it. Because 8th house is also like ghosts, demons and stuff. So there's a high chance for you to be affected by those things. And you will see like sudden energy shifts in your house. You have to be very careful of this. And also you will see like if you believe in black magic and stuff, there will be lots of people who do it on you and your family, hiding behind your back. There is a possibility of this. The whole chart has to be seen. But yes, you are someone who is very powerful in this. So there are lots of aspects to this. One aspect is if you see it from the family's perspective, then you are someone in this birth, maybe you will break your own family to build a new family. Okay, or maybe you are someone who lose your perfectly beautiful family because you wanted to chase another family. Like that's why they say North Node in the 8th house can cause extramarital affairs, can cause divorces and stuff, because you want that depth, you want that problems in your life. 8th house is also lots of stuff about death and stuff. Death doesn't always have to be physical death, okay? So it can mean like as life passes on, you will see like there's lots of versions of you. Like imagine you're a snake and a snake sheds its skin every single time, right? Moment after moment. So that's how you will feel like at some point in life, like you were someone 1 year ago and now you're totally different now. And talking about another aspect of this is money wise, then there's a possibility that you can lose a lot of money because life wants to show you how you can live life even without security, even without stability, even without, comfort. Life wants to show you that you can live your life even in risk-taking situations, even in death-like situations, even in, situations where you feel like there is no escape to it. That is what this placement is about. So Rahu in the 8th house is a lot. So if person has this in their, I know that it's not an easy journey for this person. There's going to be a lot of stuff that this person has to go through in this life. But yes, if you are born with this, that means your soul chose this, right? And make sure to not be stuck in comfort, to not be stuck into values, to not be holding into your properties. Don't do that. Okay. So also holding on to your family. So if you're married, you can check this through. Are you more attached to your family or are you more attached to your in-laws? That is a way to check this. So if you have a good bond with your in-laws, that means that you have a good influence of Rahu. But if in-laws are not so good to you, then that means Rahu is not working a bit correctly here. Another aspect of this is like, your soul wants to be the bad guy in this birth. Okay, that's what I have seen in countless birth charts that I have read. Like, if you have North Node in the 8th house, I want to say, like, through my opinion, the 2nd house is light. Okay, and the 8th house is darkness. So your soul was in the light all the time, and now you want to experience the dark. That is whether through experiencing the dark or that is through becoming the dark. Not everyone is good, in this world. So people who have Rahu in the 8th house, there are possibilities that these people are criminals. There are possibilities that these people are psychopaths. There is a possibility, depending on the rest of the chart. But at the same time, these are also the people who explore the dark. Archaeologists, they have to dig deeper to find stuff which were hidden. These are also the people who can research stuff. These are also the people who can, find stuff which were never seen by other people. So there can be a possibility in some charts I have seen, these people can see stuff like through their eyes which doesn't exist. Like, ghosts and stuff, they see multidimensional creatures and stuff. If you have Rahu in the 8th house, you are here to kind of symbolically be the bad guy. So people will see you like you're the bad character everywhere. But that is who you are trying to be at the same time as well. But my advice for you here is try to be ethical. Yes, you will be detached from your values as you grow older. But yes, still you have to be human in this world, okay? Because this is just one birth and you will be born again, right? You will be born again. So you have to be very careful about your karmic balance as well. But overall, those quotes of like, villains are not born, they are made. You're here to be a villain kind of thing. But villains are not always bad. But people will see you as a villain all the time. So don't try to act good. There will be lots of stuff happening in your life. You will experience it. But you are here to experience it, learn about it. So another thing is please don't be attached to money and stuff. Because in your life, money can last today, it can disappear tomorrow. That is what it is. But the moment you embrace the darkness of your life, like the moment you develop, interest in the occult subjects like this, interest in the hidden aspects of life, Rahu will get balanced. So if you're watching this video, then that means that sometimes there must have been a positive influence of Rahu to you, okay, for you to watch this video. And another thing is that if you have Rahu in the 8th house, that means that there is a possibility that you will turn the bad guy, right? So there is a possibility that you will do black magic on other people. Or those weird taboo stuff that are not ethical, because you are gradually coming from your values, okay? Because 2nd house is values, 8th house is North Node. Winning in life, no matter what, that mentality will come to you because you will have been experiencing so much stuff that you will be at some point in life feel like I have to win no matter what. I have to feel at peace no matter what. So I'm going to do this. There are certain charts that I have seen that they do so many, I don't want to say it, but bad stuff to people. And then later in life, they come and say like, okay, why am I not earning money? Why is my job not secure enough? Then I'm like, do you practice black magic and stuff? Then they are like, yes, I have done this, done that. 8th house Rahu wants to show you that you can lose everything in life, but still you have to live your life. Past birth, you must have been someone who was like, I need this to feel alive. I need this to be safe. I need that person to make me feel safe, okay? And imagine like you were someone who was married to a person, and as soon as that person passes away, you are like, I don't want to live my life. I want to die. But in this birth, I'm sorry to say this, and no, this is not real. The whole chart has to be seen. But some people, Rahu in the 8th house has to go through a divorce or the death of the partner. So life is testing you whether you can live without your partner or not. Okay? Life is testing you because you chose this path to be born like this. It is not the case all the time of like the death of the partner. No, the whole chart has to be seen. But yes, the 8th house is the darkness. 8th house Rahu will force you to let go of everything where you are attached. Okay, whatever you are attached, it will destroy it. Whatever you are attached. Imagine today you are in love with this house or something. Imagine you are in love with your vehicle, and then the next moment there is a possibility that the vehicle can crash down. That is how Rahu in the 8th house is. That is what Rahu in the 8th house is. It can give sudden incidents in your life. And so there's a lot to talk about this Rahu placement, definitely. So I hope I made my point clear. In this video, I'm talking only about like what your past life was and what your soul journey is in this birth. So basically it is about, stop holding on to things which feel like comfort, which feels like peace, and try to explore things beyond that. Okay? Stop living small in the mind. Kind of thing. Like, that's why you will be facing problems to expand, like to face stuff, to stop clinging to, cultures, to stop clinging to values, family, properties, vehicles, all sorts of stuff. And you have to be very careful of speech as well here. There is a possibility that your speech is turned against you, where you will have problems with your mouth, throat sometimes, and sometimes your speech will be used by others. Like for gossip and stuff, they will say bad stuff about you, like you have to be very careful about. So overall chart has to be seen fully to see what your placement is saying fully. The full story is not seen, okay? Just from one placement. Just one placement says a part of the picture. Lots of video will be coming up regarding all the placements in the birth chart, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will be talking more about Rahu in upcoming videos, so make sure to like, comment, share the videos, and also be in tune with the channel as well. So if you have Rahu in your 9th house, so you have spent your past life thinking small, I would say, thinking small. Now in this birth, your soul wants to think big. Okay, that means like imagine you were someone who used to focus only on your community, neighborhood, or what happened in the next house, what happened in the, community, neighborhood, what happened in your family, whatever. You ignored the rest of the cultures. You ignored the rest of the world. You ignored the rest of the whatever. You ignored the rest of the world because your mind was thinking small, I would say. You were always like, hard work is the only thing, smart work doesn't work. Hard work is the only thing, religion doesn't exist. Okay, science is everything. Astrology is fake. Those sorts of logical thinking was there in your past birth. But in this birth, if you're watching this video, my friend, then that is the purpose. You are here to broaden your mind. You are here to think bigger. You are here to look into various aspects of life. You are here to understand life in a more deeper way. Okay, so it can mean like you never traveled in your past, but you were always traveling from short distances. Maybe from your home to job, job to home, home to job, job to home. But now you're here to travel the world. See countries, eat different cuisines, meet new people, experience new cultures, because you didn't do it in a past birth. And then this can also manifest as like, not being a good student in a past birth. That means like you didn't do your exams, let's say. You didn't believe in studying. You were like, hard work only gives me money, I'm not going to study. But in this birth, you will be like, I want to pursue this higher education. I want to get this degree. I want to get into this college. I want to pass this exam. That can be there. To see the bigger picture of life, definitely. There is a possibility like in a past birth, you always focused on your close community, siblings, on your own communication. You didn't focus on the rest of the community. Like an example of this, I'm just saying, okay, I don't want controversy here. I'm just saying, imagine you were someone who used to follow a religion in a past birth. Let's say you were a last birth, okay? And in that last birth, you were always focused on your specific religion. You were always like, only good, only religion, like close-minded, okay? Thinking small all the time. And you always neglected what other people are, what other people's religions are, what, other cultures say about religion. You didn't have that open mind to look into other cultures. But in this birth, you're asked to, have a look at other people. Have a look at other people's cultures. Then decide whether it is true or not. Okay? You're not here to see whether it is true or not, but you are definitely here to experience various perspectives of life. So you will see when you are young, you must have grown up in a family where they were very cultural, where they were very traditional, like they didn't follow outside of the world. If Rahu is malefically influenced here, but if Rahu is positive in your chart, then you will see even your parents are very open-minded people. There will be some people who are like very into other cultures. They will be eating different cuisines here and there. They will be like listening to different songs in different languages. There is a possibility. So the main story of this axis is like, stop thinking small, stop behaving small. Like, behaving small is as in like, stop, only this is correct, that is wrong. Stop being that. 9th house is asking you to expand your horizons, start believing in things, believe in opportunities, believe in the universe, believe in luck. Because 9th house is also the house of luck. And also believe that there are certain stuff that are beyond your understanding. Believe that. Trust that. Why can't you trust that? You don't do that. I seriously doubt whether you're watching this video until now, because Rahu in the 9th house, people, they rarely listen to another person. They're always thinking, I am correct, you're wrong. That's what they think. So if you're watching this video, then my friend, you're in a positive, you're balancing your Rahu in a positive way. But if someone is not watching this video with Rahu in the 9th house, I won't mind it at all.
I see through you.
What's in that tea?
It's very hard to explain to you guys. Okay? Because through lifetimes you will have developed this very close mind personality. Like, you know how it is to talk to a person who is always like not believing in anything else. Like, imagine saying to a person that like, there are stuff called ghosts in this world, but that person is like, there are no ghosts in this world. There's only science in this world, and science doesn't explain about ghosts. And imagine you are talking to a maths teacher who is just so self-obsessed in maths and things like everything is maths, nothing else is there. So as an astrologer, when I go and speak to some people who have North Node in the 9th house, it's so hard to talk to them. They are always so close-minded most of the time. But at the same time, I have seen people who are 9th house nodes that talk almost every aspect in life. They know a little bit of astrology,
They know a little bit of, occult habits, they know a little bit of travel, they know a little bit of what happened in Uganda in 2000.
something, they know everything. So if you want to better your Rahu placement, then what I want to say is, try to expand your mind. It can be through studies. Yes, it can be through, learning new skills every day. It can be through traveling to another place. You have to expand your mind. Don't be so close-minded. Like, I'm sorry I'm saying this, but I have read thousands of charts and I'm saying that Rahu in the 9th house, what happens is, according to, ancient texts and stuff, they say that when Rahu comes to the 9th house, it loses its ability. Like, it's like Rahu is dead here. So naturally, if you have Rahu in the 9th house, it's like you're not fulfilling your purpose in life. There's a very huge battle whether you're going to go out of the jungle or not. Because Rahu, if you're born with Rahu in the 9th house, that means like there's a high chance you won't even find about the treasure box. There's a high chance that you won't even understand that you are in a jungle. There's a high chance because you are so close-minded through lifetimes. So if you're watching this video, that is a sign that you are on the correct path. You have found the treasure box. Okay, this video I'm focusing only on one aspect, that is who you were in a past birth and what this specific lifetime is asking you to complete. Okay, so I hope I made my point very clear, and there's going to be a lots of more videos regarding Rahu and other specific placements in your birth chart in the upcoming videos. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any video. Make sure to comment and tell me what you thought about whatever I said, and make sure to tell me whether you related to it. And also, if you have any question, make sure to drop it out in the comments. I'll make sure to answer it. If you have Rahu in your 10th house, you're here to master the art of your career. That's one of the main things here. In your past birth, you must have been someone who used to, love your family so much that you didn't focus much on your career. You must have been someone who loved your family so much, who loved your inner self, inner child so much that you didn't focus much on the society, acceptance, social status. You didn't much focus about it. You used to be happy in those small pleasures in life, kind of thing. Like maybe, your favorite meal at the end of the day made you happy, but not buying a Ferrari made you happy in a past birth. Sleeping in a small room, in a small bed with your children and wife made you happy, but not getting a promotion in your, Job made you happy. There are certain people who are like, I don't need many much things to feel happy. This is enough for me. Little is enough for me. Those type of people. You must have been someone like that. You were never focused on, society, job, career, status. You were never focused on that. You were focused on your own inner happiness, your family, small but cozy family traditions maybe. Also, this means that your life in previous births were very small, private. Imagine a couple who are farmers in the ancient times. Their routine will be very same kind of thing, and at the same time their life will be so small, private, and so loving and caring at the same time. Like today people are craving that a lot, don't you think? Like to live a life full of, happiness rather than the society expectations and stuff. That is who you were in a past birth. This birth, your soul wants to climb the ladder of success. Build a name for yourself. Show who you are to the world. Okay? Build a name for yourself. Build a reputation for yourself. Get success in your career. All sorts of things are there in your destiny. Your soul wants to climb the ladder of success now. Your soul wants to get accepted in the society now. Your soul wants to be seen by the society now. So that is why they say, like, if you have Rahu in the 10th house, you will be famous. You are meant to be famous in this birth. But one of the main thing here is you have to know the difference between being famous and being popular. Okay, because there can be this hunger of Rahu to be famous, to be seen, that you will do unethical stuff to be famous or be seen. That is a possibility. But yes, you will definitely be a famous person in the later part of your life, or maybe since birth you are a famous person. So this can also be seen like, because your life was very small, maybe in a past birth you had a job, but you never chased the promotion, or maybe you never got the promotion. Okay, so in this birth you have this hunger of like, I'm going to be the CEO. I'm not going to be the laborer or the worker. I'm going to be the CEO of the business. That is a possibility. And you're here to do it, so do it. There will be some strong, heavy karma related to your mother-in-law. You will see that person has some major things to do in your life, or the arrival of that person will do some certain changes in your life. You will see that. Depending on the rest of the chart, we will be able to see whether it's positive or negative, yeah. But yes, 10th house is also your mother-in-law and also your sometimes father. So these two bonds can be karmic to you. So one of the main things in this placement I have seen is like their soul is craving so much success, recognition, that at some stages of life there can be a possibility of using unethical ways to climb the ladder of success. So my advice is don't do it, because we all know that the stuff Rahu gives can be taken by Saturn within a second. Today, because of Rahu, if you become a billionaire, tomorrow if Saturn, Antardasha, Mahadasha, something like a Saturn, Sadasati, something comes, then you can lose everything. You have to be very careful of it. So yes, there is a hunger for you to earn, for you to become known, for you to, climb the social ladder, yes. But be ethical all the time, because at the end of the day, there is always karma going on around. Okay, you're not living only this birth, right? You will have to come back again to this earth. So it's very important for you to have a good karmic balance. Because lots of people and clients that I have seen in this, because why I'm saying this is, whenever someone says the birth time, birthplace, birth date, I can literally see, any astrologer literally can see everything in your life. It can see whether your family is happy. It can say whether you are, health is good. It can say whether you are destined for fame or not. It can even say what you're thinking at that moment. A good astrologer will be able to say that. So what I have seen in most of the charts is that they lose the inner happiness for outer happiness. Okay, they do all the stuff just so that they can get that property, just so they can get that promotion, just so they can get the money, just so they can get the name. They lose themselves. Please don't be that. Okay, you are naturally destined to get everything that you want. That is for sure. But don't lose your inner child in that process. That's what I want to say. Because 4th house is peace, right? 4th house is your mental peace as well, I would say. There's Ketu there. So there's a possibility as life goes on, you won't find peace in your family, in your home. So that's why I have seen most of the people who have Rahu in the 10th house, they have, I'm sorry to say this, but they have faced lots of issues in their family. Like even their family after marriage. Because like they are like not focusing on the partner, they are always focusing on the social status, you know, and stuff. Maybe even marriage happened because of the social status and stuff. Don't be that. Be human in the end of the day, and also try to balance the north node and the south node. Then you will feel life is more aligned. Yes, your soul wants to get fame, name, build a name for itself. Yes, you will do it, all of that. You will do all of that. That's for sure. So I hope I made my point very clear. There's a lot to talk about Rahu actually, and in this specific video I'm focusing only on the aspect of who you were in a past birth and what really is the reason you were born into this world. Okay, so I hope I made my point clear, and make sure to comment what you felt about it, and also make sure to comment if there is any issues, problems that you are facing. I will be answering it. And also make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the upcoming videos, because there's going to be a lot of more videos about Rahu and other placements of the birth chart as soon as possible. So thank you so much. See you again in another video. Rahu in your 11th house. In this birth, your soul wants to meet new people, build connections, build communities, fulfill goals. 11th house is all about goals, aspirations, you know, connections, friendships. So all sorts of those aspects are what your soul is craving for in this birth. So 11th house and 5th house axis is a lot to talk. Like even to the 5th house north node timestamp, I said about this, like 11th house and 5th house for me is a lot. It's not something very simple, because for many people with this same placement, they don't face the same issues, right? For some it is about romance, for some it is about friendships, for some it is about children, for some it is about, you know, creativity. So 5th house and 11th house is a lot. But majorly, if you have this placement, then what your soul wants is to, you know, do something for the community now. Maybe you have been a royal in a past birth. Maybe you have been a celebrity in a past birth. You know, the limelight was on you. You were the star all the time. But now you want to do something for the people, for the community. That is one of the main things. So this can also manifest as, you know, you were so stuck in your romantic affairs in a past birth that you neglected your friendships. So in this birth, you want to have some good friends, you know, build some connections, not just a romantic connection. That is a possibility. So in a previous birth, there must have also been a possibility of you focusing only on your children and not the rest of the children. Like, you know, every children on this planet, you didn't care about them. You just focus only on my kids, your kids. Okay? So in this birth, you are here to see the broader picture of the humanity. You will definitely be unique. In a sense, you will have a unique thinking pattern in yourself. And also this placement where you're here for a bigger cause, I would say. Rather than North Node in the 10th house, what I see is North Node in the 11th house people are the people who do a lot to the society and to the world, to the human world. Because like 11th house is all about goals, right? So you will be someone who will manifest your goals in like one single day. You're here for a bigger purpose. So it would be really good if your job is something like that. It would be very good if you are doing something like that. That will help Rahu be balanced. There's a lot to talk about this Rahu placement when it comes to children. You know, some people with this Rahu placement will have difficulties in conceiving kids. Regarding pregnancy and stuff, and some people who have this placement will be associated with so many bad people and associations like community wise, and it can be the result of their own downfall. So yes, there's a lot to talk about this placement, but I can't say it all in just one video, right? And if you are someone who has the North Node in the 11th house, then seeing just one placement, the whole story can't be seen. That is why I'm making this video, to at least understand a part of the picture. But the more you see more videos about astrology, maybe from this channel, you will try to uncover more hidden truths about your own birth chart. So that's why I say please subscribe to the channel and please watch the upcoming videos, because I'm planning to post lots of videos regarding Rahu and the other placements of the birth chart. But overall, what your soul journey in this birth is to do something bigger than your own life. Okay, work for the people. And in that process, you will be able to manifest lots of things in your life. Because imagine you were a celebrity in a past birth, that means you definitely had lots of money, wealth, status. That will definitely come to you in this birth as well. But the main cause is for you to do something bigger to the human world, to the humanity of people. You know those people who, for some time they were celebrities and then after some point they became activists, philanthropists and sort of people. So these are those type of people. 11th house North Node. Oh yes, you can't become a humanitarian without money, right? You will definitely have money in the future. But yes, we will have to see the rest of the chart as well. But yes, the main purpose of your life, do something good for the humanity. Think of other people as well, not just your immediate surroundings and romantic partner, children, creativity and stuff. Start thinking more about the human world. So make sure to drop a comment whether this was relatable. Make sure to drop a comment if you have a question. I will make sure to answer it. And also like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any other upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Let's meet to another video. Rahu in your 12th house. This birth, your soul wants to master the spiritual life in a sense. Okay, because 6th house is all about work, routines, health, service, enemies. That is your Ketu. That is who you were in a past birth. But this birth, 12th house, is all about, isolation, detachment, spirituality, dreams. So if you have Rahu here, there is a possibility you were a soldier, you were a doctor, you were someone who used to work a lot. You used to focus a lot on your work, sometimes on your health. Okay, like imagine like the doctors that you see, they don't get a rest at all, right? They are always walking here and there from one surgery to another, from one patient to another. That's how your life was. Imagine you're a soldier or a warrior, that's how it was. But in this birth, you're here to kind of relax. Now work is enough. I have done so much work. Oh my God, I want to be alone. I want to be isolated. I want some peace. This can manifest as you being delusional in your mind. This can manifest as you being highly imaginative in your mind. This can also manifest in a way where you get addicted to certain stuff a lot to escape the daily routine, the daily grind and stuff. But that means that you are in a wrong influence of Rahu. But if this is balanced, then that means you are here to, isolate yourself. Maybe go to a different place, foreign lands. 12th house is also foreign lands. Definitely have won the material world in a past birth. So this birth is asking you to develop spiritually. Material world means maybe you were someone who used to plan everything, strategize everything. This is how it needs to be done. This is how it needs to be done. Now the universe is asking you, calm down. Let me handle everything for you. You just calm down. That is what the universe is asking you. So your soul wants to, I did everything in my past birth. I did the work. I did, so much service. I earned so much, but now I want to just isolate myself. I want to detach myself. Maybe go to somewhere far away and live alone. That is what your soul wants. I'm focusing only on one aspect in this video, and that is like who you were in a past birth, the most nearest birth, and then who you are supposed to be in this birth, what your soul wants. So the main theme here is, stop being so practical, logical. Start being delusional, start being magical, start being spiritual. That is one of the main things here. Placement can also give you certain powers kind of things. Like, there are human beings born with certain powers. It's just science can't explain it. That doesn't mean it's not real, okay? If you have 12th house North Node, there are possibilities that you can astral travel. There are possibilities that you can lucid dream. There are possibilities that you can, experience situations where you are disconnected from your body, but you're flowing outside your body, those sorts of things. That's why the more you engage in meditation, spirituality, the more you isolate yourself, you will feel more happy. That is what Rahu is asking you. That is what your soul wants. How's the opposite of it is like, not believing in all of these. Always wanting a logical explanation to everything that is happening in life. You've always been so small, rigid in your daily routine that you forgot to see the rest of the world. Now you can see the rest of the world through your imagination, maybe through your delusion, maybe through addiction. Sometimes people do it. Or through meditation, spirituality. Or through foreign lands. But the major theme here is stop being logical, start being magical. Okay, if that makes sense. If you have 12th house Rahu and if it is well balanced, then you can achieve lots of wealth in your life, that's for sure. Because you have the natural talent of working, of giving service, of never getting tired. There is a natural talent for that. But you have to be very careful of problems, which I will talk in another video, but I will say it lightly. Like if you have Rahu in the 12th house, there are possibilities of hospitalization, legal troubles, even prison, getting lost. There's a lot to talk. I will tell it to you in another video, but in this video, I hope I made my point very clear and what your soul wants in this specific lifetime. So make sure to drop a comment and let me know what you think about it, and also drop a comment if you have any question and make sure to answer it. Also subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thank you so much. See you in another video.